Jay, right here on the first question.
Jay Donde, ESPN. LeBron, in what way do you tie the avenue for athletes to become global icons to Muhammad Ali?
Can you kind of clarify that question a little bit more?
I guess, do you at all see a sense of that, or maybe see the groundwork that he laid for athletes to become global brands, the world renown that comes for people in your position today? To what degree do you tie that to Muhammad Ali?
First of all, my condolences goes to the Ali family. Rest his soul to the GOAT. Not quite sure if I'm going to answer your question exactly how you wanted to, but just so many thoughts come to my mind when I think about the man who passed away yesterday. What he represented. As a kid, I gravitated towards him because he was a champion, but I only knew as a kid what he did inside the ring. As I got older and I started to be more knowledgeable about the sport, about sport in general, and about the guys who laid the paved the way for guys like myself, I understood that he is the greatest of all time, and he was the greatest of all time because of what he did outside of the ring. Obviously, we knew how great of a boxer he was, but I think that was only 20% of what made him as great as he was. What he stood for. I mean, it's a guy who basically had to give up a belt and relish everything that he had done because of what he believed in, and ended up in jail because of his beliefs. That's a guy who stood up for so many different things throughout the times where it was so difficult for African Americans to even walk in the streets. And for an athlete like myself today, without Muhammad Ali, I wouldn't be sitting up here talking in front of you guys. I wouldn't be able to walk in restaurants. I wouldn't be able to go anywhere where blacks weren't allowed back in those days because of guys like Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, Oscar Robertson, Bill Russell, Lou Alcindor, Jackie Robinson, and the list goes on and on. So when an icon like Muhammad Ali passed away, it's just it's very emotional. It's also gratifying to know that a guy, one man, will sacrifice so much in his individual life, knowing that it will better the next generation of men and women after him. So today I can sit and go to China and make trips to China and all over the world, and people know my name and know my face. I give all credit to Muhammad Ali because he was the first icon. He is the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time, and it has zero to do with his accomplishments inside the ring. So hopefully I was able to cover it.
Michael, a couple rows back.
LeBron, again, a little bit on Ali. You touched on the courage he had to show to take stands. You've had some taste of that. You've made your feelings known on some pretty touchy issues. What is that like to kind of put yourself out there like that? And should athletes do more of it? Some do, some don't. Yeah, Michael made his. He made a point of not doing that at times.
I just think it's in you. If it's in you, then it will be brought to light. If it's not, then it won't. I would never compare myself to Muhammad Ali because I never had to go through what those guys had to go through back in those times. But in my own struggles and my daily struggles of, as I continue to say, growing up in the inner city, being a statistic that was supposed to go the other way, and I'm able to sit up here today knowing I was a guy who beat the odds. And it's just, you never take for granted the path and the guys who just every single day just struggled in their individual lives and everything they had to go through on a daily basis for us, for a guy like myself. And yes, I've had some adverse moments in my life, and yes, I've had to deal with a lot of things as a professional, and I've spoken up on a lot of issues that other athletes may not speak upon, but I feel it's my duty to carry on the legacy of the guys who did it before me.
Over on the right side.
Felicia Purcell, the Antioch Herald. LeBron, you were one of the players that spoke out about the injustice about Trayvon Martin when you were a member of the Miami Heat. Can you talk about the legacy, the type of legacy that Muhammad Ali will leave on this earth?
I think what's unfortunate sometimes with some of our greats and some of our role models and some of our leaders is that we don't appreciate them until they're gone. And I think that's unfortunate. But I think in Muhammad's case, I hope we was able to appreciate him from the time that he was set or stepped foot on earth, and along his path from a kid all the way to a teenager, all the way to an adult, and to a father, and so on and so on. His legacy will obviously live on. And it's funny, last night we were back at the hotel, and a good friend of mine, or a role model friend of mine, who actually grew up in the same hometown as Muhammad Ali and kind of around the same age, he put on last night on the TV where we were, the Thriller in Manila, the fight between Ali and Frazier, and it was it was just an unbelievable pound for pound slugfest, but just two greats, just seizing the opportunity and seizing the moment to be in, to doing what they love to do, and just sent a lot of emotions through all of us, just in that room watching it. And like I said, I had an opportunity to meet him a few times, and for him to be able to fight the disease that he had for so long, I think 3 decades he had that disease for, and still be able to recognize and do the things that he wanted to do and live on. He's a powerful man.
Thank you.
Emilio, third row in the center.
LeBron, we appreciate your words on myself about that, Ali. But changing a little bit the subject, going back to the series, when it comes to a situation to fight back, let's forget about the numbers. Let's forget about the stats. What is the recipe for success going into tomorrow's game?
Well, I think for the recipe for success in a basketball game is 2 different things. But I think for tomorrow's game, we have to be more sharp than we were in game 1. And that's not saying we weren't sharp. We played some really good basketball, but we made too many mistakes. And as I stated after the game on Thursday night, 17 turnover for 25 points. Doesn't matter if you hold Steph and Clay under 10. Doesn't matter if Sean Livingston gets 20, or Iguodala, and all those guys play great. Or even if they didn't play so great, you cannot give up 25 points off turnovers on the road, especially versus a great team. It's just not a good ingredient for success. So we have to do a better job of that.
Chris over here.
LeBron, Chris Mannix with Yahoo Sports. Kyrie was already a pretty good player when you got here. In what ways over the last 2 years, and in what direction have you kind of tried to push him to become a more complete player, and where do you think he is in that process?
I just wanted to be someone to help him get to a point. I think his talent has always been there. We all saw that, since he was drafted, to Cleveland in his first few years, with the team. What I wanted to, once I came back, I wanted to see if I can help him grow as a leader, help him grow as a basketball player, help him grow in understanding how important and how fragile these opportunities are. And he's just shown growth every single day. He's a young man still. I think the kid's only 24 years old. He's still a young man, but he's accepted the challenge of being much more vocal, much more hands-on as a leader of the team. He's the quarterback with the playbook on his wrist. You know, you see the quarterback kind of, you know, I'm kind of the offensive coordinator, and T. Lue is the head coach, and he's the quarterback, and he has to go out and make the right read. So, you know, the kid has grown in the 2 years that I've been here so far.
He was a scorer, had to be a scorer early on when you get here. Did you try to emphasize passing more, ball movement more, just more complete?
Well, he's still a scorer. That's what he does. He gets buckets. That's how he says it. You know, he can score with the best of them in our league, and you never want to take that aggression away from him. You know, as a team, we know as a team, not just Kyrie, we know as a full 15-man roster, when the ball is moving and the ball has energy behind it, we're all in good rhythm. And that's part of the reason why we're here again.
Dave and Ramona, last two.
LeBron, Dave, Big Ben with ESPN. Staying on Kyrie, a lot's been made about this series, the matchup between you and Steph Curry, but he actually plays the same position as Steph. And have you had conversation with him or counsel with him about embracing that challenge, that matchup? But again, as you mentioned, kind of staying in the team game.
At the end of the day, it's not about myself or Steph or Clay or Kyrie, Draymond, and the list goes on and on. It's about the Warriors and the Cavs. I mean, you win a championship, we all don't get an individual trophy, you know. You know, all get your individual rings, but at the end of the day, it's about a team, you know. And you know, this is one of the greatest ultimate sport team games. So it's not about that. I think as a individual, when you're going against the best, your competitive side automatically kicks in. So no matter who's across from you, you want to be able to try to, you know, hold your end of the bargain against the guy across from you. So that's just competitive nature. I think everyone knows that. But we don't come into a game saying, okay, it's Kyrie versus Steph. It's, you know, Swish versus Clay. This is our game plan. They have their game plan, and it's who executed the best.
Ramona?
Ramona Shelburne, ESPN. What's your relationship with Dan Gilbert like this year and since you've been back in Cleveland?
I think it's been very good. You know, at the end of the day, we have the same goal, and that's to bring a championship to Cleveland. You know, and that's all that matters. I think, you know, he's the owner of the team. I'm just one of the players. I'm one of the 15 guys. So I'm one of the lower guys on the totem pole. So I just do my job. I'm just here to work.
You're one of the lower guys on the totem pole?
Yeah, I'm just tall.